Would you have thought that this apple has been held in 33 hands before it got here? This apple and the hands it got touched by tell a truly shocking story about the modern European food system, and I am here to tell you about it. Worldwide, 1/3 of the food that is produced is thrown away. In industrialized countries like Europe, it is estimated that it is more than half. It is a tragedy that although 79 million EU citizens live in relative poverty, 100 billion euros worth of food are thrown away in European households every year. The food wasted by the US and Europe could feed the world 3 times over. In Europe alone, 3 million tons of bread are thrown away annually, enough to feed the whole population of Spain in the same time span. Food waste is generated when production exceeds demand. In order to ensure delivery of agreed quantities while anticipating unpredictable bad weather or pest attacks, farmers sometimes make production plans on the safe side and end up producing larger quantities than actually needed. In addition, the EU marketing standards regulate the 11 most sold fruit type and vegetable types. These standards regulate size, length, diameter, shape, weight, curvature, color, smoothness, uniformity, freshness, firmness, and ripeness. However, these regulations do not include checking the quality, taste, or nutritional value of the foods. There is a 20-page criteria for apples by the EU marketing standards. I do not want to name these, but clearly, just because an apple does not have the 33% red coloring on the surface, it is not better or worse. As a result of these regulations and surpluses, farmers do not even gather some of the harvest that is on the fields or on the plants. These make up 40% of the total harvest and are left on the fields to degrade. Furthermore, the manufacturing and processing of foods is never 100% efficient. Technical malfunctions, including overproduction, inconsistency of manufacturing processes leading to misshapen products or product damage, packaging problems leading to food spoilage, and irregular sized products end up as food waste. On distribution and wholesale level, inaccuracies in stock management and forecasting may lead to excess stock. Poor packaging performance and extreme changes in temperature during shipment can spoil or shorten the shelf life of food products. In the retail sector, stores need to order a variety of food types and brands from the same manufacturer to get beneficial prices and attract customers. The at all-time full shelves increase the number of food products reaching their sell-by date, which get discarded 2 days before this date, because fresher products will take their place. This, although most products are in an edible state, even a couple of days after it has passed its expiration date. Thus, supermarkets throw away edible food every day from which nobody can benefit anymore. The consumers, on the other hand, get overwhelmed by the variety of food products and by much more than they actually need. The perception of the value of food is increasingly lost by the consumers as the knowledge of the source and the production of the food products diminishes. The freshest and best produce must be at hand at all times, and often the quality and nutritional value of the foods is disregarded. Throughout the whole life of a food product, energy is put in directly as well as indirectly. Energy usage starts with the cultivation of seeds, sowing, distributing fertilizers and pesticides over cultivated area, processing the foods, deep freezing, the transportation and storage, as well as the disposal of sustenance. By comparison, to produce 1 kilogram of wheat, 1,100 liters of water are needed. To produce 1 kilogram of rice, 2,700 liters are needed. And to produce 1 kilogram of beef, 16,000 liters of water are used. In the food industry, huge amounts of emissions are created. Everyone knows that burning fossil fuels releases CO2. Fewer people know that through the enrichment of the ground with fertilizers, nitrous oxide is emitted, which is 295 times worse than CO2. Not to mention the large amounts of methane produced by cattle, such as cows, but also sheep, as well as the paddy fields used to grow rice. Adding it all together, the agricultural sector emits 60 million tons of methane per annum. You might not think that the excretions of a cow is significant. However, in the US alone, the animals that are bred for human consumption produce 130 times more excrements than the whole global population. This might say something about the number of animals there are for human intake, which is not surprising, as the consumption of meat has doubled since the 1970s. These animals have to be fed, and their main food source, is soy and corn. The soy cultivation is one of the main reasons for the land clearance and the Amazonas rainforest. Economically, Europe is highly interconnected with other parts of the world through trade, which means that it has to take into account the energy consumption of its imported food produced in another end of the world. The packaging, which utilizes plastics, paper, aluminium, or glass, is just another obvious process that generates emissions and waste. Not to forget, the decomposition of food waste in landfills emits methane. A growing rate and amount of food waste produced means larger amounts of methane emissions are created. Halving the food waste is definitely possible. The reduction will be equivalent to taking every fourth car off the road. In Great Britain alone, 61% of all its food waste could be prevented. That is 4.1 million tons of food. Changes in food production are possible. Communication and cooperation between farmers could reduce risk of overproduction by allowing surplus crops from one farm to solve a shortage of crops on another. Moreover, selling farm crops closer to consumers without having to pass the strict quality standards set up by supermarkets and government on weight, size, and appearance would possibly reduce the amount of rejected crops. This could be achieved through farmer markets and farm shops, for example. In manufacturing processing, changes can be made too. The German Max Rühmann Institute found that the apple-type topaz yield loss through fungal infestation could be reduced by 90% for a 2-minute warm water treatment at 52 degrees Celsius. Another study by the Jacobs University Bremen concluded that 35% of all the degradable food worldwide has a short shelf life because of the defective refrigeration and extreme changes in temperature during transportation. A reliable continuous cold chain can significantly increase the shelf life. This shows how powerful scientific research can be and innovation in finding solutions. Sales of products a few days before the expiry dates help to reduce waste in the retailing sector and enable the needy to access food at a lower price. Even more impressive is the Dutch supermarket chain Jumbo, where customers that find products 2 days before the expiration dates can take the products for free. In addition, supermarkets seem convinced that consumers will not buy food which has the wrong weight, size, or appearance. Surveys, however, show that consumers are willing to buy heterogeneous products as long as the taste is not affected. Consumers have the power to influence the quality standards. This could be done by questioning them and offering them a broader quality range of products in the retail stores. Educational institutes and the local media can get involved in educating the public about buying the most nutritious food, which usually includes locally grown produce. In addition, the confusion between the best before and use by dates has to be cleared. The use by date refers to the date after which a food product should not be eaten, even if it smells and looks fine. On the other hand, the best before date refers to the date after which the texture and flavor might not be like it was initially, but when it is still safe to consume a product. In New York City, there is a spreading trend of so-called rooftop farms, which involves the practice of cultivating food on rooftop of buildings. This allows citizens to grow their own produce and harvest the right amount at the right time. There is also a concept known as community gardens, which involves gardening a piece of land by a group of people. This is just another concept that can be implemented on the ugly brownfield sites of cities. These actions create feelings of pride, self-esteem, but above all, the long-lost appreciation of a food item. The food industry in Japan recycles about 35% of its waste. Some of it is used to produce fodder for cattle. The food waste is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius to kill all the bacteria, so it is safe for the pigs to consume. This method of feeding proved to be 50% less expensive than the regular imported feed. Although it could be a step towards sustainability and efficiency, the EU currently does not allow food waste to be used as fodder for pigs. Last but not least, there should be more frequent, widespread and more accurate data collection to monitor changes in the amount and type of food waste generated. It can be used as an indicator of the changing demands of the food industry and of the consumers, so that a more accurate picture of the real demand is made and the production patterns are changed. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come when we must stop being the problem and instead start being part of the solution. Thank you very much.